Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz Shauketaly.
And a very good evening to you and welcome to Newsline Live. Now then, amongst the pandemic and amongst the struggling economy, there is something else that is of grave interest to the Republic of Sri Lanka, and that of course is crime, organized crime. Let's find out. We've got the right person here. He's the chief in charge of battling organized crime. He's right here with us, of course, and we're delighted to welcome DIG Priyantha Jayakody. Very good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Faraz.
How is organized crime doing in our country then?
Yeah, when you talk about the organized crimes, I should say that the organized crime incident, we can see the drastical decline.
Right.
Comparing with year 2018, 2019 we reached very good progress. We have identified a series of criminals whom have identified as the members of the organized gang. In 1996, I can remember when we first announced this organized criminal gangsters biodatas.
Indeed.
We have noticed 18 groups, 18 different groups within the Colombo municipal area. That means Colombo city limit.
So it's like 18 gangs?
Yeah, this is 18 gangs. This is in 1996 when the very inception of discovering these organized criminal gangs. Now in 2020, when we do a survey, we found within the city limits of the Colombo municipal area, there are only very few, it's something like 2 or 3.
Okay.
But the rest of the other groups, altogether we have identified 14 groups.
Yeah.
All other groups have spread in the greater Colombo area, I should say. It is something like Nogegoda, Maharagama, like the suburb areas. But after these continuous operational activities, we have neutralized most of these groups.
And DIG, what is the definition of an organized crime gang?
Yes, there is not a legal definition for the organized crime in any law of this country. But United Nations Organized Drugs and Crime, UNODC, has given a definition, said that a group got organized with ulterior motive of doing some criminal activities, and the way of their organizing as a leader and members and the activities, you can describe them as organized crime.
And these organized gangs, are they specializing in any particular crime? Is it drugs? Is it what is it?
In Sri Lankan context, the most of these criminal gangs, they are operating for drug business. Their main source of income is selling drugs and distributing drugs. Apart from that, they were involving in other activities also, something like involving in tender activities by threatening. But this all happened in 1996 and year 2000.
Right.
And there are some instances we have found is they demand for ransom. There are some activities, but basically they are involving in the drug business. If we can neutralize the drug business, we can neutralize all the gangs. If we can neutralize these organized gangs, we can neutralize the drug business of this country.
And how effective, how successful, and how focused is the Sri Lanka police when it comes to recovering proceeds of crime?
No, as I told you, for organized gangs, we have apprehended almost 90%.
Yeah.
And we have put them behind the bars. And the very important thing is, earlier, though we put them behind the bars, within the prison premises, they manage to communicate with the rest of the world, and they organize and they manipulate their operations. But after under this current situation, we have identified 2 prisons as the Bus and Angunakola Palace as safe prisons, and they have become a virtual prisoners.
So they're real prisoners.
They are real prisoners. They can't communicate with the rest of the world. The telephones are 100% banned, and we have fixed some instruments, jammers, plus the outer perimeter is secured by the special task force, specially selected people, and even the prison officers were handpicked. And after adopting all these systems, now we are in a good position. And we have identified about 24 organized criminals are fled to other countries, some Asian countries, and we are in the process of bringing them down to Sri Lanka.
Have you named them through Interpol?
Yes, exactly. Out of this 24, out of this all 24 members were obtained red notices, informed to the Interpol with their criminal activities, their criminal status, and under these circumstances only recently we have apprehended most wanted criminal by Indian authorities when he tried to fly from southern part of the India to the northern part. He was detained at the airport. Now he is under custody. Like that, a couple of suspects are under police surveillance in United Arab Emirates. Now the diplomatic transactions are going on, discussions are going on to bring them down to Sri Lanka.
And how easy or difficult is that process to repatriate somebody from the UAE?
No, there's no such, because now the talks are going on, now the discussions are going on. Now we have got down the famous criminal Madhush under these circumstances, because they are staying this land without proper valid visa by impersonation, because they are using some other names under these circumstances. We are strongly believing that we are in a good position to bring them back.
What happened to him then?
No, that is all. It's a matter with the court of law. Then I should not discuss.
No, okay, right. Point taken. All right, but are you? Can you tell us how has organized crime fared in terms of the importation of drugs? I'm presuming drugs are imported because we don't have cocaine fields here, do we?
Yes.
So in that case, now with the airports virtually non-operational, they're operational but there's less traffic.
Yeah.
Have you detected a less amount of drugs available?
Yes. Now you can see when you are comparing the drug price, you can see the supply amount of supply. When the drug price going up, we know that there is a problem in their supply routes, because through airport very limited number of drugs are coming.
Okay.
When you are comparing the percentage, it is less than 10%, but 90% come through the sea routes. Yeah. Now we have taken so many actions, the amounts, large haul of drugs were detected in high sea,
right?
Especially the EC, economical zone.
Okay.
And Navy plus Police Narcotic Bureau are continuously doing operations to dismantle these, to neutralize these drugs organized gangs.
I see. And as a career policeman yourself, how do you view the force that you belong to? Are you satisfied that as time goes by, that we in this country are getting a better and more professional police service?
For us, this you have to look at in different views.
Right.
Internationally, I went through the crime index, World Crime Index. According to the World Crime Index and the Safety Index,
yeah,
out of 133 countries under their research, we have got number 80 position. Number 80, being number 80 is, I think, I strongly believe in that it's a very good position. Though we are criticizing the police, though we are criticizing the anti-crime work, but according to the World Index, we are in number 80. We are only below Nepal in the South Asian country.
Okay.
All of the South Asian countries, including India, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, everyone is above us. The most safest country in the world according to this index is 133 number hole by Qatar.
Right.
And the worst is Venezuela.
Right.
Then the Papua New Guinea. Then the South Africa. When you are comparing with these countries and the economical status and the social status, I am pretty happy about the current situation in this country.
But room for improvement. Always.
Sorry?
But room for improvement.
Yes,
always.
yes, definitely, because we want to put our country into the number one. As in the position of Qatar, then only we can satisfy it. But
how far away are we from that?
No, that's why I said that it's on 80. It's another 53 countries we'll have to go. This 133 is Qatar. Like that, this is only the crime and safety index. There are some other aspects also you'll have to consider.
Now
but our policing is not in a bad position.
Thank you for all those questions that are coming in. And I'll just take this one ahead of the break, where we are going to go for the headlines, check what's happening with the primetime news today. Please ask DIG why we, the public, never see what happens to all the drugs they confiscate. Nobody sees what the police do with it. So how do we know for sure that it has not got back into the streets again?
I am 100% assure you through this your channel, through this media, there is no way of getting these drugs detected by police back to the society.
What happens to these drugs?
When you detected the haul of drug, immediately now we have adopted after these narcotic officers involving in some records, now this stuff is going to the government analyst department within 24 hours.
Okay.
And this will be kept under the safe custody of government analysts until the court case is over.
And then?
Because now the government is trying to adopt a method to get the particular sample, judicially confirm it under the judicial observation, and to destroy the rest of the stuff
instead of keeping it.
That will be implemented very recently, because this is the suggestion of the government. Because a lot of people have the very big criticism about whether all the detected drugs will go back to the society, and to stop
we don't really see any public. Well, we saw some time ago.
No, the problem is, Faraz, this is a very serious offence. The punishment will be the death. Over 2 grams, if you have detected with the heroin or any prohibited drug, you have to sentence. The final sentence will be the death penalty. For these cases are highly contested in the court of law. The top level lawyers are appearing for a very big price on behalf of these racketeers, the drug peddlers and the drug organizers. But you will have to prove the case beyond the reasonable doubt. Under these circumstances, the production, what were detected by police, is playing a very vital role in the court case, the trial. On this issue, we have to keep those stuff until the case is finished. Not only the case, until the appeal case is finished.
Right.
This is why the people are talking, why can't you destroy?
So until the entire judicial process is exhausted.
Yes, until the entire. But now the government is going to introduce new rules through the parliament. They are going to pass. They are going to amend the ordinance to destroy after taking the particular portion of as a sample and judicially confirm it, and to destroy the rest of the stuff.
I'm going to ask you what sort of safeguards there are for the suspect in that case.
Sorry?
Is there a possibility of any form of the police or the state interfering in the sample?
No. Because after detections we make the notes, how we detected, under whose custody. Chain of custody is very important for the drug cases,
Right.
and immediately we produce these to the government analyst.
Will the suspect's legal team be able to witness that?
Yes. Yeah, now we immediately, because we got the thumbprint of them, their fingerprint,
Yeah.
and we produce that stuff to the government analyst department, and they take the sample and keep their custody. Now under the new law, after taking the sample with the judicial confirmation, it will be destroyed, but the sample will be produced.
But in the making of the sample, in that process, is it possible under the new rules that the suspect's legal team can be present?
Yeah, most of the instance, now according to the current situation, we get the print, and all these sampling were done by the sealing were done by in presence of the suspects. And even if they need, they can summon their representatives as a lawyers.
I see.
Yeah.
On that note, let's see what the headlines are in store for us for this evening's primetime news. Don't go away. We are Newsline Live. We'll be back shortly.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz Shauketaly.
Welcome back to Newsline Live. I'm in conversation with DIG Priyanta Jayakodi, who of course is in charge of organized crime, battling organized crime. Several questions, DIG, especially during the break as well, saying that I'm not asking you what you do with the drugs that you apprehend now, when the judicial process is over. What happens to all these drugs?
After the judicial process over, you will have to destroy these drugs in presence of the judiciary.
Right. And how often does that happen?
Normally when the case is over, in the court premises itself, in the presence of High Court judge who heard the case, then we destroy the stuff.
Oh, really?
After the court case
Is it
and
chemically
appeal
destroyed?
case is over. Yeah.
Is it chemically
because after keeping in certain time, it is perishable.
Oh,
Drugs, yes.
okay. So you're quite certain that none of this is trickling back?
I assured you, and none of this stuff will go back to the society.
There you go. The DIG has assured us that that's what happens, and so we have no reason to believe that it doesn't happen. Now then, somebody's asking here, how easy is it for the police to fit somebody up, as in make false accusations?
Why? What is the reason?
I have no idea.
Yes, police is there to safeguard the people. Police is there to secure the society.
Yeah.
Under what circumstances police need to put people behind the bars without...
What about in terms of promotions and so on?
I won't believe. I'm not...
You don't believe that?
Yeah,
that's
but
so.
unless you showed with the results,
Right.
with the example,
Right.
so and so did this, even that you have the option to go before the court of law, or you can make the complaint to now the current police commission is totally looking after the public complaints. But we can't just do this.
The public concern about the destroying of drugs is intense. Now I was another one saying that we only saw this happen once, and that was under the last government, when there was a very public destroying of the drugs.
For us, don't misunderstand.
Yeah.
Because there was a large haul of drugs detected by Police Narcotic Bureau in container base at Colombo Harbour. That was some cocaine, which does not belong to anyone. There was no suspects. This was a consignment going to some other country by mistake, or way it has come to the Colombo harbour, and on an information the Police Narcotic Bureau detected this large haul of drugs without a suspect. Because there is no court proceedings, then at that time the government decided to destroy in public, and they brought everything to the Gulf Face and packed into the vehicles and sent to Puttalam cement factory and burn it. This is happened. But apart from this, most of the cases, when the case is over, it will destroy in presence of judiciary.
And Diaji, how much of the law's delays impacts on your work to bring justice and to convict these drug peddlers and so on?
Yes, for this there's a process, legal process. There's a delay. You have to accept it.
Yeah.
When some cases are dragging for years and years.
Yeah.
For that, now the government has taken very positive steps to increase the number of judges, number of courthouses, number of cases heard by the judicial. But in the investigation process, of course, status, of course, police, normally we complete over at currently 35,000 grave crimes per year. Out of 35,000, the 60,000, approximately 60,000, 60% cases solved, and we will produce them before the court of law, and the rest of the work is with the judiciary.
Now, you said that there are about maybe 2 or 3 sort of organized crime gangs.
Yes.
Here. So does this mean that you actually know who these people are, and
Yes.
and you're always keeping them on the side?
Exactly.
The antenna is on.
Exactly. We are having the database. All their numbers, all their biodata, their relations, how the way.
So they're under surveillance.
They are under surveillance.
And they know that too.
Yes.
So is it a bit of a cat and mouse game?
No.
Do they know that you're watching?
Yes.
And then so they're going here,
yes,
and then you're coming their way.
The best way of curbing crime is supervision criminals.
Right.
Supervision of criminals, not only the gangs, all the criminals, especially maybe a housebreaking, maybe a thief, maybe a robber. If you supervise properly, his activities will be less.
In that supervisory process, is it obviously the integrity of the police will have to be outstanding, because otherwise the criminals will start buying into the police.
For us, we can't forget that we are in the South Asian country.
Yeah.
We are in the South Asian context. Our social structure, other activities,
And graft is
behaviors, everything, we can't just turn it to the super level.
No.
By step, we'll have to improve this.
Is that a implicit acceptance that graft is part and parcel of our culture, or the South Asian culture?
No, it's not that. It's not that, but things are happening and happen.
Yeah.
But gradually, now we are doing a lot of training programs.
Right.
It is a matter of changing the attitudes of the policemen.
Right.
That is what we are doing now.
Are the police well paid? Are they well paid?
You have to think this.
Don't answer that question if your pension is going to be at stake.
No. It's when you have to think about this payment according to the standard of the country, according to the social standard. The highest paid policemen are the Hong Kong and the Singapore policemen. But the other countries, according to the other South Asian countries, our paying status are not bad, I should say.
Not bad, but could be better?
Yes, definitely. Everyone will expect more. Even you, even I. That is the human nature.
Oh, I hope HR has been listening. But honestly, DRG Shauketaly, thank you very much for being here and sharing your stories there.
Yeah, thank you very much for allowing this opportunity to express our views for through your media. Thank you very much for you.
Come back on a longer program where Shamir Rasuddin on Face the Nation will enjoy having you and asking you probing questions, because that's for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And it's now time for the primetime news from News First. Do watch it because it's absolutely interesting. Over to the news team. Take care and God bless you.